Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we got a little bit of change of scenery. We are flying in the Persian Gulf, heading into Iranian airspace. And we are going to do a little bit of SEAD, but instead of using the AGM-88 harms, we're going to go in and use the good old Mavericks over here. These Mavericks have a lens in the front of them that houses a camera, to which I can use to designate targets and launch them. From what it looks like on this HSD, before we get to do all that, it appears we've got a couple hostiles up in the air that might screw up my party a little bit, so we might have to take care of them. The problem with that is I am very heavy, so we're going to have to make very short work with them if we want to remain alive, to put it simply. Yeah, they are turning hostile and committing, so we're going to go ahead and set ourselves up here. We're going to go for power. Master arm. Air to air mode. And let's make quick work of them, shall we? Like I said, I'm not able to do nearly as much aggressive flying as I would like to in this case, because I am very much heavy right now. I do have 4 AMRAAMs on board as well. I always bring air-to-air munitions along with anything else I'm doing, just for this specific purpose right here. So we're going to make short work of these guys real quick. Turn off the autopilot. Oops. We're going to go for a little bit of altitude at the same time, just to get my missiles a little bit higher of a probability of killing them. Until we're in the zone. We're going to wait a couple seconds. I do have an ECM pod on the jet as well, so when they start to do their whole diddly bop and try to get in my head and shoot me down, I have a pod that will jam them as well and will automatically dispense countermeasures as it deems necessary. So that is a Fox 3 on the lead, and the wingman is actually turning defensive. I'm not exactly sure why. He's went into a notch, so we're going to go ahead and just recommit on the lead again. It's time to impact, so that missile's active. Let's see if we can get our friendly missile on over here. Time to impact, 10 seconds. Okay, we'll go ahead and lock up the wingman. The wingman is recommitted. Fox 3. Go ahead and start defending. Those are F5s off the nose. Like I said, I'm not able to be as extravagant. I have the stores configuration in category 3, which means I'm heavy, and it dampens my flight controls input, so that way I do not inadvertently break the wings off this jet. Please, no merge today. I do not want to merge with either of these clowns. If I do merge with one of them, it's not going to be good. Although my jet is the vastly superior jet to either one of these guys, in its current state being as laden as it is, that doesn't necessarily matter. I might as well be flying the same jet as them. It's just, my life becomes a lot more difficult when I'm holding all this weight. So we're actually getting close to what I was actually originally going to attack. See them populating there on the ground. Convoy, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're on the road. Altitude. We're just going to have to watch to see what that man does out there. But we're going to switch air to ground mode. I don't think he's going to be much of a threat, to be honest with you. There is the screen of the Maverick and what it's able to see. And I can change this to Oversight Mode. So I can use that cursor on the HUD pops up, and I can use that to help me designate. I can use just the visual of the Mavericks themselves, or a pre-planned, if I had a targeting pod on the jet as well, I can use that. But we're just going to go in today using a combination of the HUD and what the Maverick Seeker is seeing, and we're going to designate some targets. They are moving, so I don't know how successful this is going to be. I just wanted to try something maybe a little bit out of the ordinary, if nothing else. Normally, for moving targets such as these, you would want to utilize laser-guided munitions or a cluster bomb of some type. But I think we can get the job done here today. So we're going to expand FOV to see if we can see these guys. I got one. Magnum. And shack. Alright. So that's a good old one right there. Shack is the term used for destroying a ground target. Shacked one of those vehicles. So we're going to about a AAA fire there. Let's evade that. That makes sense. It's a AAA fire. Let's not get caught up in that. I'm going to climb to get away from it a little bit. I don't want to stall. Like I said, I am extremely heavy right now, so I need to be careful how I fly, because gaining back any sort of momentum without dumping the nose towards the ground is going to be fairly difficult. So we're going to get up our speed a little bit, just kind of flying this nice and easy. It's probably the nicest I'm going to fly in for quite a while. We're going to start to turn back in. It was hot on the convoy over here. The old Betty is doing what Betty does best and complain about the altitude. Okay. Level off. Tell it to hold my altitude. And let's go hunting. Decided to bring today was not the... Oh, solid. Okay, then. Bringing the weaponry I decided to bring was not exactly the best for this target, so you guys get to see what a failure looks like, so... Heck yeah. Let's go ahead and just punch off my stores, get rid of all this weight. And I am on fire. That's never good. And I'm missing a leading edge flap, so... You know, that's always solid. And now I'm spiraling. Missing an elevator too. No, it's still there. The jet is very much favoring the right-hand turn right now. Just, before we eventually call this quits, because I'm going to die at this point. See if I can take someone with me. A target closing off the nose, under 40 miles. So we're going to go get him while we're on fire. This is going to be quite the adventure. IFF him again, just to be sure. Alright, he is confirmed hostile. I dropped the lock, though. Probably a little bit of terrain masking going on there. The jet is appearing to cooperate a little bit more as I've gotten a lot faster. Not under ideal terms by any means, but it's also not ideal to fly a flaming jet, so. Jet is destined to crash at this point. We're just keeping it alive as long as possible while we try to take down one of these hostages in the airfield. I'm going to keep it in category 3. That way it limits my input, so that way I do not break this jet further and kill myself way prematurely. Come on, I'm going to drop the lock. We're closing this guy at lock point. Yeah, definitely the wrong choice of munitions for going after the convoy. I did not know it was a convoy of crap load of AAA. It's news to me. So we got Mirage 2000s. I have just one Fox 3 left. We're just gonna chase this dude down that's running for his life, and then we'll punch out over Iran airspace. Hopefully they troopers and support. They're going to take the whole wing off. That'd have been a catastrophe. But nonetheless. Should we be alive right now? Probably not. But it is a game at the end of the day, and we're going to have fun. Where else can you say that you charged into battle with, you know, your jet on fire and one missile left and all that jazz? Jesus, he's not cooperating with me. It's very difficult to fly right now for obvious reasons. The jet is just not cooperating at all. This guy is running for the hills right now, and it's really funny. He's not getting away. I can promise you that. I don't care if I run face first into a bunch of his allies and we eat a missile. He will die. I can promise you that much. Yeah, F4 nails off our 9 o'clock. So that'll be F4 Phantoms. Drop the lock again. It's harder for the radar to hold a lock on a target that is cold because it sends out pulses, and the bounce back of the pulse gives the radar picture and whatnot. So when bandits are cold like this and they're running from you, it's a lot harder for the radar to do its job. I just see it visually, so I'm just going to go to dogfight mode. Lock him up that way. Come on now. Fox 3. It appears he's finally turning to fight me. And splash. Alright. And very, very difficult to fly this jet right now, so. Alright. We're gonna go ahead and punch. We'll grab another jet and we'll come back up. It appears there's quite a bit of air defenses to consider here today, so we'll come back to handle some of those. I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, we have rearmed, and we're going up with an air-to-air loadout, and we're gonna destroy some Iranian fighters. Mix of F5s, some F4 Phantoms, and maybe the occasional F-14 Tomcat will be out there. Now, Iran does have F-14s. It was a big old deal, a lot of politics, all that jazz things I'm not going to go into. A long while back before we hated each other, I guess. Because we had a common enemy, but then we decided we just didn't like each other. And then we cut off sales and cut off production of their parts, so they got mad about that and blah, blah, blah. But we're doing a mill power takeoff because I want to conserve as much fuel as I can. And being I'm of low weight and everything, I'm not really worried about needing afterburner for takeoff purposes. Our first bandits are about 80 miles at about our 2 o'clock position. So we're gonna go back with them specifically. So I know I've talked about it briefly, but let's go over a little bit about missile terminologies and whatnot in terms of air-to-air. So you have 3 different designations for air-to-air missiles. They're Fox 1, Fox 2, and Fox 3. Fox 1 missiles are known as semi-active radar homing, which means they're guided from launch all the way to impact from the parent aircraft, which means I have to maintain a radar lock throughout the missile's entirety of its travel, or it'll go stupid. Now, this missile has the distinct disadvantage of I have to maintain a lock at all times, which means I have to maintain a nose-hot attitude at all aspects during its travel, which leaves me vulnerable to their incoming missiles. Fox 2 missiles are non-radar. They are the 9Xs you see on the wingtips. Those are IR seating. Now, the X variant is a very powerful. It does a lot of crazy things. We might get to see it today. But it does some really crazy turns that you just don't... It looks like some UFO crap. And then lastly, we got Fox 3. Fox 3 is the most common missile that you will hear of in today's day and age concerning U.S. aircraft. Now, other countries might not have Fox 3s, whatever, that's none of my concern. But Fox 3 initially uses the aircraft's radar to guide itself to the target. And at a predetermined point, it does something called a handoff. And the handoff turns on a radar inside the white cone of the missile that you see there on the 2, more towards the aircraft, not the one in the wingtip, that's the 9X. Excuse me. But there's a little radar in there that will then self-track onto the first thing it sees. And it typically does that around 10 nautical miles. Now, I can force it to do it earlier if I have to just drop lock and go completely cold. It does have logic to know kind of where the target was, and it'll stay in that general area. And then once it acquires it within a 10 nautical mile range in front of it of what the radar can see, it will then begin to track it again. The problem with that is it will lose its lead pursuit. It'll lose all that good stuff that it's had with the guidance from our aircraft. And it will regain it. The problem with regaining it is they have a finite motor, which means it only has so much energy. And every time it has to turn after that motor has been used, it loses energy. So we're closing on our bandits off the nose here. I'm going to go ahead and get power, get some speed in this jet, because we might be high, but we're definitely not fast. So we need to be high and fast. So on the HSE, our AWACS is telling me they're Angel 16, nose hot. So we'll set our radar so we can see down to Angel 16. There we go. The FCR is here on the left page. I populated something right off the deck. Let's IFF it. Yeah, IFF screen. Alright. Alright, so where was I? Okay. But if I have to terminate the lock and I have to let the missile go to its own devices, it's better than happen to stay nose high at a constant. So I would rather sling missiles and then have to break lock and then have a chance of regaining the target and killing it than breaking the lock and knowing damn sure that that missile is going to do absolutely nothing but burn itself out, lose the lock, and self-detonate. So that's the simplistic terms between Fox 1, Fox 2, and Fox 3. So when you hear me say things like, you know, Viper, Fox 3, you know that Viper, the call sign, has sent out stating that they have fired a Fox 3. And if I'm working in tandem with somebody, I'll designate them Fox 3 on lead, Fox 3 on wingman, whatever, two-ship, whatever. So I hope that kind of clears it up a little bit and puts people in the loop kind of to what I'm saying and whatnot. I have been a little bit laxed on the recording as of late. I've just gotten over a little spat with the good old COVID. I'm doing fine. It only was with me for about 4 days, but I can tell you as much, the energy levels have yet to return to normal. I tend to get tired a little bit early in the day right now and whatnot, and from what I told, that sticks around for about a month, so whatever. I'm here now, I'm here with y'all today, and we're gonna have some fun, so that's all that matters. And then other than that, like I just didn't have the urge to want to record or do anything, just because you know the drive, the want just wasn't there. But whatever, we're here today. Like I said, let's do it. So we're approaching Mach 1.3. Bandit's off the nose at about 60 nautical miles, and they're slightly offsetting. I don't know what they are. They have nothing on them from a radar standpoint, so they might be F5s. F5s have an extremely dumbed down radar, and they're only down to carrying Fox 2s. So they're vastly inferior in that aspect. I should outperform the living crap out of these dudes. So what I might do, knowing that they're F5s at this point, I might kill one to make it a 1v1, and then I might just dogfight him so I can use the 9Xs, and you guys can see some pretty interesting things. And so we expanded the view here on the FCR, and that is a 2-ship. So that, I think that's what we'll do. I think I'll blow one up, and we're going to enter a dogfight with the second one, just for the lulz, so you guys can see something cool. I remember the last time, fresh in my memory, and probably fresh in yours, the last time I did this, I trusted the bandit, and I died. Well, we don't learn from our mistakes on this channel. No, sir. We do it again. So we're going to go ahead and start dropping to meet our bandit. We're going to lock one of them up. Get inside the capable range of our missiles. We're going to push into the capable range as much as possible. We will VID the target when we merge and go from there. And based on what we know about the bandit, once we merge with them, we'll know what type of fight we're about to take them in. But that's kind of a crap statement to say. Flying the Viper, you're always gonna favor the Wraith fight, or the 2-circle fight, as it's also called, which is nose to tail. You're never gonna want to fly to get nose position in another aircraft. So we drop the lockdown to something called a notch, and a notch is interesting. So radar sees things going to and away from the aircraft, and it can't necessarily see the ground like you and I can. It sees the ground as constantly moving towards it, because the aircraft is moving towards it, but the radar understands that it's moving at the same rate that the aircraft is to it, so it filters it out. So an aircraft that turns perpendicular, left to right, right to left, and typically below your aircraft, can enter a notch, and it gets filtered out because the radar doesn't see it moving to or from you at all, right? So even though it is no shit a jet, and it is a threat, it doesn't perceive it as such because of the notch filter. Otherwise, you would pick up the ground. You'd just be trying to target the ground constantly. So the notch filter is a necessity in terms of aeronautics and fighting. So they're actually kind of smart. They're trying to drag me into a SAM cluster, which I don't necessarily want to be in. But that's what they're trying to do. So we're still gaining on them at about 190 knots. You can see right here my velocity of closure. They are about 12 miles out, and that's our firing parameters, and that's what our current distance is. So we're going to go ahead and do this. The SAM, I'm kind of in its area, and it's not targeting me, so I don't think it's online or somebody's dealt with the tracking radar. So we're just gonna expedite this process. I mean, these guys are not wanting to fight, but I don't care. We're gonna give them the fight. So in this server, it gives these little labels where you can see exactly where they are with a mnemonic telling you how far they are and whatnot. As you can see, the second one just popped up a little bit to the top left of the HUD. That's whatever. I don't care. I don't mind it. It's whatever. For the purposes of the video and whatnot, we're just out here to have fun. So Fox 3. And we're going to go ahead and drop him because it is already good for him. And we're going to switch over to Fox 2s. We're going to get ready. So it's a MiG-21. So MiG-21s are only Fox 2 capable aircraft as well. And they don't do much of anything extremely well in terms of dogfighting. They are an intercept aircraft. And they're really good at getting fast. They get fast, they go in, they catch people by surprise, they blow them up, and that's that. So hopefully this man turns to fight. top here. This is a two-circle fight. We are going nose to tail. He's dumping his nose to get energy. And we're just going to maintain this around like this. I'm going to stay above him, out of the nose. Then I go like this. Lock him. And that is the Fox 2 telling me that it's 6 seconds. We're going to wait until we get into navigation position. It's a little bit slow. Right here, Fox 2. So he's coming across the top. He used energy to get up here. And boom, he's too slow to evade the missile. He sloshed you. There you guys go. That is a demonstration of what high-off foresight can do. High-off foresight means I can look around like I did and tell the secret head I want you to look at exactly what I looked at. Which is, you know, as you saw, it's very powerful. But in today's day and age, aircraft don't do what I just did. They don't get within visual range. Fighting an aircraft, if you take down another bandit like that, the likelihood of you ever seeing that bandit in true and due conflict is slim to none. And mistakes on both sides had to have been made for that to happen. So, take it for what you will. This is a video game, so we're going to have fun. So, you know, that's just, it is what it is. And yeah, I hope you guys learned something. It was pretty quick. We got in there nice and dirty. You guys saw something funny out of the first in there. I brought the entire wrong weapon to a situation I did not know what I was going to run into, and I found a convoy of AAA that completely destroyed my life. Fun fact, AAA is actually more dangerous to an aircraft than SAMs are. SAMs, yes, are dangerous, but you can defend the SAMs. You can drop your altitude, flight cranks, get the notch, all that good shit. But the thing is, to do that, you have to drop altitude. You drop altitude, and you pull out of the maneuver, and you go to like pull back and around. You're a lot slower, and you get within the AAA net. AAA fire is very good at what it does, especially with the computer guidance systems. I'm sure you're all aware of what CWISs are, the close-in weapon systems. I'm sure you're all aware of that. The thing that looks like R2-D2 and the Galway Avenger from an A-10 had a child, you know? And that is, in essence, AAA. A very good AAA. It's very fast, but that is basically what you're going against. It's very good at what it does. Nice stream of bullets, typically high explosive, and yeah. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And, saw a little bit, maybe learned something. I know we talked a little bit about it. I don't want to bore the living crap out of people, but I mean, I can go into massive depths about things if you guys wish, about how it works. And kind of, I can go into tactics, everything. And granted, it'll take me a bit longer to do those videos because I'll have to, like, draw things out, show examples of things and whatnot. Of kind of how it works and what I'm explaining. But I mean, if that's what people want, let me know. And obviously, I mean, I'm happy to do it. I know the knowledge, and why not share, right? But I don't want to do it unless that's what you guys are after. I don't want to turn this into something you guys get bored by and whatnot. So, I mean, yeah, just let me know. You know, let me know in a comment. Yeah, we want to, yeah, bore the crap out of this. Sure thing. All right, I'll bore the crap out of it, you know? But yeah, until then, I hope you guys learned something, man. And until next time, see ya.